Hey, Earl here. If you're 45 and you ain't saved a dime for retirement, every calculator, every YouTube video, and every guy at work who started at 22 is saying the same thing. You're behind. You blew it. It's too late. Here's what they're not telling you. The math of starting at 45 is a whole lot better than the math of never starting at all. And with a couple of tools most working people don't know exist, the gap between you and the guy who started early is not nearly as wide as people believe. Today I'm going to show you the actual numbers. Let me tell you about Virgil. Virgil is 45. He's been a welder since he was 19. Structural steel mostly. Bridges, commercial buildings, the kind of work that leaves burns on your arms and a squint from the arc light. He makes $52,000 a year, which is solid money for the trade but not Silicon Valley money. He's got a truck with 2 years of payments left on it, a paid-off double wide in rural Georgia, and exactly $0 in a retirement account. Not because he's irresponsible, because life kept happening. His 20s were about learning the trade and keeping the lights on. His 30s had a divorce that cleaned out what little savings he had. His early 40s went to helping his mama after she had a stroke, which cost more than he'll ever tell anybody. Now Virgil's 45, he's got no savings, and he figures the train already left the station. So he does what most people in his shoes do. Nothing. Because nothing feels like the only honest option when you think you already lost. He's wrong. And here's the math that proves it. Virgil's job offers a 401k with a basic employer match. The company puts in 50 cents for every dollar Virgil contributes, up to 6% of his salary. That 6% of $52,000 is $3,120 a year, which is $260 a month out of Virgil's paycheck. The employer kicks in half of that, $130 a month. So for every $260 Virgil puts in, $390 actually lands in the account. That extra $130 is free money. It don't come out of his check. The company just hands it to him for signing a form. If Virgil does this for 20 years, just that amount, $260 a month of his own money plus the match, and the market returns an average of 7% a year. He ends up with roughly $203,000 by the time he turns 65. That's $200,000 from a welder who started at zero at 45, and we haven't even gotten to the good part yet. When Virgil turns 50, the IRS hands him a gift that most people never unwrap. It's called the catch-up contribution. After 50, you're allowed to put extra money into your 401k above the normal limit. Right now, that extra amount is $7,500 a year. Virgil can't swing the full 7.5, but he can do $400 a month because by then the truck is paid off and his expenses dropped. That's $4,800 a year in catch-up money on top of what he's already putting in. That $400 a month in extra contributions over the last 15 years at the same 7% adds roughly another $151,000. Combined with the $203,000 from the base savings, Virgil's sitting on about $354,000 at 65. He got there from zero. He started at 45. He did it on a welder's paycheck in Georgia. If that math just changed the way you're thinking about your situation, do me a favor and tap the like button. It helps more working people find this before they give up. Now $354,000 isn't $1 million, and I'm not gonna pretend it is, but it doesn't need to be. We covered why the $1 million number is a lie back in the first video on this channel. The real question is what Virgil needs per month and where it comes from. Virgil's Social Security benefit at 67 is estimated at about $1,900 a month. That's $22,800 a year. His monthly expenses in retirement, with the house paid off and the truck paid off, and no more daily commute to the job site, run about $2,800 a month, or $33,600 a year. The gap between what Social Security covers and what Virgil actually needs is $10,800 a year. Take that $354,000 in savings and apply the 4% rule, which we covered a while ago, and it throws off about $14,100 a year. That more than covers the gap. Virgil's got a cushion of over $3,000 a year, which is what normal people call sleeping well at night. There's one more boost most people don't know about. Thanks to Secure 2.0, when Virgil hits 60, his catch-up limit jumps even higher. Between 60 and 63, he's allowed to put in up to $11,250 a year in catch-up money instead of the regular $7,500. That's an extra $312 a month on top of what he's already doing. Virgil might not swing all of it, but even half pushes his total past $370,000. The government built this rule specifically for late starters, and almost nobody uses it because almost nobody knows it exists. And here's the part that makes the whole thing sting even less at the paycheck level. Every dollar in that 401k came out pre-tax, which means his take-home barely felt it. $260 a month pre-tax on a $52,000 salary is roughly $180 less in take-home pay. That's $6 a day. Virgil was spending more than that on gas station coffee and beef jerky on his way to the job site every morning. Here's what Virgil's life looked like after he started. He didn't move to a smaller place. He didn't sell the truck. He didn't eat rice and beans 7 nights a week. He stopped hitting the drive-thru on the way to work and started packing a thermos and a sandwich the night before. He dropped the extended cable package he wasn't watching anyway and kept the internet. When the truck payment ended at $47, that $390 a month didn't disappear into new spending. It went straight into the 401k, which is how he had room for the catch-up at $50 without feeling like his life got smaller. The people who think saving for retirement means living like a monk have never actually run the numbers. Virgil didn't give up anything he cared about. He gave up things he wasn't paying attention to. There's a difference, and most folks don't figure that out until they look at where the money's actually been going. We covered that exercise in the fake bills video, and it still applies here. Now I need to say this part because some of you are already thinking it. Starting late does not mean you should try to make up for lost time by putting your money into whatever your cousin's buddy said was gonna double overnight. Crypto, meme stocks, options, day trading on your lunch break, none of that is a retirement plan. That's a slot machine with a login screen. The math I just showed you works because it's boring. 7% average over 20 years isn't exciting. It's reliable. And reliable is the only thing that'll still be there when Virgil's 65 and his shoulders can't hold a Weldon hood up anymore. Now some of you are thinking that Virgil's got it easy because he's only 45. You're 50 and you haven't started either, and you figure the train isn't just gone, it's in another state. So let me run the 50-year-old version real quick, because it still works. You start putting in the same $260 a month with the same employer match, but the catch-up contribution kicks in right away. That means your total monthly deposits are closer to $790 from day one. 15 years of that at 7% lands you at roughly $247,000. That's a smaller number than Virgil's. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. 5 years less compounding costs real money. But $247,000 isn't nothing. And when you stack Social Security on top of it, the way we just did for Virgil, the plan still closes for somebody with modest expenses and a paid-off place to live. It's tighter, you've got less cushion, but tighter is a whole lot better than zero. And zero is what you've got if you keep sitting on your hands for another 5 years waiting for a better time that ain't coming. Now let me tell you about Nora. Nora waited tables at the same diner outside Tulsa for 22 years. Good tips on the weekday lunch rush, sore feet by the dinner shift, and a boss who never once offered a retirement plan of any kind. She turned 47 with nothing saved and no access to a 401k through work. Her version of the plan looks different than Virgil's, but it ends up in the same neighborhood. Nora opened a Roth IRA on her own, no employer involved. She started putting in $250 a month, which she scraped together by dropping the car payment and buying a 12-year-old Civic for $4,000. At 50, she bumped it to $400 a month, using the catch-up limit for IRAs. 18 years of steady deposits at 7% puts Nora at roughly $152,000 by 65. And because it's a Roth, every penny of that comes out tax-free. We covered exactly why that matters a few videos ago. Nora's Social Security at 62 is $1,400 a month. She plans to claim early because her knees told her the diner was over before any spreadsheet did. That's $16,800 a year from Social Security. Her monthly expenses run about $2,000 even. She owns her place outright, drives that same Civic, and her biggest monthly bills are groceries and utilities. That's $24,000 a year to cover. The gap between what Social Security pays her and what she actually spends is $7,200 a year. Her Roth at the 4% rule throws off about $6,080. That leaves a gap of just over $1,000 a year, which Nora covers by picking up 10 hours a week at the diner during the lunch rush, not because she has to grind, because she likes seeing her regulars, and the tips cover the difference with room to spare. The diner taught her how to stretch $1. Turns out that's a retirement skill too, and the Roth money coming out tax-free means her income stays low enough to qualify for ACA health insurance, subsidies until Medicare kicks in at 65. We covered how that works in a past video on this channel. For somebody like Nora, the Roth isn't just a retirement account. It's the piece that makes health insurance affordable, which makes the early exit possible, which makes the whole plan real. Two people with two different paths and the same starting point, which was zero. Here's the part nobody mentions when they tell you that you're behind. Behind is not the same thing as done. Behind means you've got ground to cover. Done means you stopped moving. Those are two completely different situations, and the math only cares about one of them. I spent a lot of years telling myself I was too far gone to bother. Too many bad decisions. Too many dollars that went to stupid things I can't even remember now. Too much distance between me and the finish line. Karma taught me the distance don't care when you start covering it. It just cares that you move. The road doesn't get any shorter by standing still. Here's your homework. If you haven't started yet, open the retirement account this week. If your job offers a 401k with a match, sign up for at least enough to get the full match. That's the free money. If your job doesn't offer a plan, open a Roth IRA on your own. Fidelity, Schwab, or Vanguard will set you up in 15 minutes. Put in whatever you can, even if it's $50 a month. You can raise it later. The act of starting is worth more than the amount you start with. Then come on down to the comments and type catch up along with your age and when you are getting started. Maybe you're 45 like Virgil. Maybe you're 52 and just found this channel. Maybe you're 38 and this video lit a fire under you to stop waiting. Put it out there. When you see somebody else's number down there, give them a thumbs up. Late starters need the backup more than anybody. Subscribe if you want straight talk about retiring on a normal paycheck. No hype, no crypto, no just make six figures nonsense. Real math for real people who started late and plan on finishing strong. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.